Evidence. Tonight, see what truly exists inside the world of the paranormal. Inside. Join the discussion and review some of the best paranormal evidence captures from a wide variety of experienced and up-and-coming investigators. See and hear what they capture, where they captured it, and how they captured it. Right now on Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. We have got a special co-host tonight.
Yes, I know that little guy.
That little guy. I would like everybody to say hello to my son, Stetson.
Woohoo!
Hello, Stetson.
Hey, Stetson.
You won't hear the audience because they don't have mics. So
Yeah. So,
and welcome back to you, Chris.
yes, welcome back,
It's
Chris.
Spain without you.
I was traveling for work last week, but I am here for the next 3. So, and then I travel for 3 weeks, and then I'm back after that, and it should be smooth sailing after that. We've got some major projects going on with my company, but Stetson and his wife and our grandbaby and our son Alex is also here visiting this weekend. They are These 3 are here from Phoenix. Audra's out there playing with the grandbaby and spending time with her and making cookies. So I told Stetson, "You're co-hosting tonight. Come on." So I'm told. Voluntold, that's right. And yes, he's taller than me, so no comments from the peanut gallery. Stetson is 6'4". Yeah, Stetson is 6'4".
Oh my good Lord.
Hi, Cocos.
The Cocos.
Of course, we miss Audra, and we don't have Ron and Lourdes right now.
Yeah,
so.
they just landed from the UK.
Yeah,
Oh, he just arrived today.
just a little bit ago.
They landed in a different airport. They were supposed to land in Jersey, and they landed somewhere else.
So they will be back with Audra next week. But since Stetson's a special co-host, why don't you talk to our audience and tell them about your paranormal experiences with your father?
Well, I've gone to the Aho Hospital with you guys a lot. Went there a few times, which was super fun. Allison went a few times as well. And then just some other things here and there. We'd go to, different cemeteries and stuff when we would travel, and even back home in Arizona. Just some stuff like that. Just
Anywhere he would allow me to drag him, I would take him. Tombstone. He's been to Tombstone quite
Tombstone,
a bit. Done
Bisbee.
some investigations with us down there. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
yeah, Scott Stetson is definitely taller than Mr. Reddick. So not by much. I think he's got you by an inch. So Todd Carmella. Yes, we're missing Audra. Yeah, fuck Stetson. Where's Audra?
So how long are you guys gonna stay there?
How long are you visiting for?
Yeah, visiting.
They will be here till next Saturday.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Can we see the little baby?
Yeah, she's out there. We would put her on camera, but she's watching a movie and she's like her father and her mother. You don't pull her away from what she's doing because she'd be mad.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's almost bedtime, so
I understand that.
But anybody that's friends with me on Facebook, I have posted some pictures so you can see everybody, and I will post them more before the
Yeah,
week's
I
over.
saw that.
They're good pictures too.
But everybody welcome Stetson Christopher Allgood. Thank you. Stetson sounds very much like me, Todd. Yes, you're absolutely right. It runs in the Allgood family. My brother and I sound very much alike. We laugh alike. We joke alike. Stetson sounds like his dad. And we have a tradition in my family to where my brother didn't have any sons. He's a football coach in Nebraska, so it was kind of funny. But we have a tradition in our family. My father's first name was his father's first name. My middle name was my father's middle name. Stetson's middle name is my middle name. My first name, yes. Yeah. So like my father's first name was Boyd. My father's middle name was Boyd. My father's first name was Howard. My middle name is Howard. His father was Christopher. His middle name is Christopher. And he hasn't had a boy yet, or if ever, but that's supposed to be the plan. I don't know if he'll pick up the tradition or not.
If it happens.
Audra looks different.
If we have a boy, we will.
Yeah.
But if not, can't really do anything about that.
Roger from Arizona.
Hello.
Stetson. Thank you. But yeah, this is my little boy. For everybody watching, him and I have been like this since the day he was born. So
Yeah.
It's awesome. That's
Stetson
awesome.
is the sweetest son ever.
Thank you.
Every time I see them, like he will hug his dad, like, oh.
Good stuff.
Yep, we're a very, very loving relationship. He is everything to me, and he knows it.
Yeah, he is.
Let's quit with the mushy shit now and move on to the phone. That's fucking hilarious. But I just wanted everybody to get a chance to meet Stetson since he was here, and I told him you're going to be on the show with me. So
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So, what have you guys been up to?
Let's see.
Oh, we've been fixing the house.
Yeah, we spent a considerable amount of time. The blistering Arizona sun took our gazebo and shredded the roof.
I know.
And I'm not talking about just shredding like from wind. I'm talking the sun literally broke it down into fibers that blew away. So a 10 by 12 roof just ceased to exist. So we bought a new one. We put that up. And
we're still trying to figure out how to put that second
second layer piece. Yeah. So some of the hardware was missing. So I invented a means to do it. So we got to finish
And
that.
John is moving. Yay!
Yes, we're getting the house actually back. No more kids living here.
Yeah.
Back to ourselves. We're excited
Wow.
about that.
Yeah.
We didn't have a kitchen table since we moved to this house. Finally figured out how we could, because our kitchen's relatively small.
Yeah, very
But we
small.
stuck in a 8 or 9 foot bar table with 3 bar stools, which goes right up against the wall out in the back side of the kitchen, looks right at the
I
big
posted
screen
on
TV.
Facebook,
Yeah.
yes.
So that works. We we
pretty
did
much.
something else too. Oh, they changed the coffee table to the couch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we've been working on the house, and then I fixed some issues I was having with
We're
sound.
good.
on
We're doing
Static-Com.
good. We're doing goodwill hopping. That's why we.
That's where we got the coffee table for $14,
And that's
and
why
it
we.
looks beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. We drove by your house.
Yeah, that's why we went by your house to that Goodwill out there.
So, and anybody that's watching anything with the name bar in it, we're all for it.
That's what I thought. Bar table, I'm fine. Bar. I told Sheree I need to put it on the other side of the wall so I can scream into the kitchen, beer, beer.
And she can throw shit at you. Is that what you're attempting to do here? It does. It looks awesome. I saw the pictures on Facebook.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We like it. We like it. Very much so, Todd. Very much so.
Yep. No more kids. I got that for a month or two.
Yeah, they come back. Be careful.
Great.
This one I had to sucker to get back here. Little does he know I canceled his flight return home.
You're staying a while in Stetson. It's a long walk.
Yeah.
So, guys, we actually have a show tonight, but we're not going to do it. No, I'm just kidding. So
Maybe
we
later, Todd.
got some really awesome guests tonight.
Yes.
We've got some people that you have met before, and we've got a new person that you have never met before, but she's just as phenomenal as the other two. We're actually going to bring her in first and make the other two wait, because they've been on plenty. You've met the other two plenty of times. This one you have not. So tonight we've got Jennie Collucci, we've got Anthony Simonelli, and we have got Kimm Guyer. And they've got a new podcast coming out. We talked about it the last time I was on the show, and Anthony co-hosted with us. And we're going to talk about it tonight. We're going to show you some of the locations that they're going to do on their new podcast. The best part is we're going to show you some evidence captured at these locations. And you might even get to meet some of the guests that are going to be on their show tonight, or at least one of them. So everybody say hello to Kimm Guyer.
Hello, Kim.
Hello, all. Hi. Hello. Thank you for having me on tonight. This is great.
Thank you for being here. And everybody knows Miss Jennie Collucci.
Yay! Welcome back,
Hi.
welcome back, Jennie.
Hi, everybody. Thank you.
And of course, everybody knows Mr. Forget About It. How you doing, Anthony Simonelli?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Forget about it.
That's a new shirt.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I got that as a gift from Anthony from Parasite. I don't know.
Nice.
Nice.
It's
Very good.
actually in Delhi called Forget About It.
That's awesome.
So good.
Although we love Jennie and although we love Anthony, we have never gotten to meet Kimm before. So Kimm, take a minute before we talk about what you guys are doing and collaborating together on, and tell us how you got involved in the paranormal. And Audra and I, you guys, Kimm holds a special little location in our heart because Kimm is a
location medium. Location evidential medium. Yeah.
Very nice.
Right? Hi, everyone. I see that Todd and Carmela are here. Hi, Mary Beth and Antone. Hi, everyone. Yeah, super excited to be here. So paranormal, it's what we're all about, right? That's why we're all here. That's why we're all together, late up at night, talking together. Yeah. So I never thought I was going to be involved in the paranormal. I'd always wanted to be, always watch the ghost shows, ghost adventures right from the beginning, right? But it wasn't until I actually had my first paranormal experience in 2008. It was in the second oldest house in Manchester, New Hampshire. I was staying, this is where my ex lived at the time, him and his family. So I was having to stay there. Very traditional Italian family. So I was all the way in the back of the house where the help stayed, with like the back stairs and all that. And one night, no joke, I literally heard footsteps coming into my bedroom. Clear as day. I mean, as clear as day. Literally thought somebody came in my room. That's it. And then from then I was like, this is real. Something's happening. Yeah. So do you want me to go more? Yeah, more?
Yeah, tell us how you found out about your abilities.
Yeah, let's do it. So I'm actually a veterinarian by profession. So I went to veterinary school, had nothing left in my brain really to like focus on any of this. So I actually am science-based, and I do really appreciate evidence and science. So it wasn't until I moved to New Jersey that I started having experiences out in the woods. Literally out in the woods, I was starting to walk through tunnels of spirit people. Freaked me out, had no idea what was going on. And then same place, this was St. Patrick's Cemetery, which I don't know if this place has come up before. Highly recommend. It's a public location. You can go. It's the entrance to a mine. And there's a cemetery up there, which I didn't know at the time. But anyway, so I went back on the trail in the fall. All the leaves had gone down. And I had the same experience again. I looked over to my right, and there are white crosses in the woods. Randomly, there's over 200 bodies in the woods, 250 bodies buried in the cemetery in the woods. And at that point I was like, okay, something's really trying to get my attention. I'm really experiencing something. Again, it's like, that science base. I'm skeptical really until I prove it to myself. And that really proved it to myself. So then I started doing more intensive mediumship training. And I didn't really have somebody that I could like reference for this. So what I literally started doing, no joke, is I would go to these public historical locations. My husband would video me, and I would post it on YouTube under Ghost History Medium. And then what I would do is to help myself understand what I'm experiencing, I would go to the history books to basically prove what I was experiencing. So getting names, dates, events, because, I don't really have the privilege of having a, historian next to me, which is always excellent when I do have one. I'm always like, yes. And then through that, I was reading locations, going to the historical societies, literally sitting in these small places where I'm just getting these books, and they're all like, what are you doing? What are you researching? And I'm like, oh, just a project, just a school project or something. And so that's how I got started. And then I did more intensive mediumship training with well-known mediums like Paul Jacobs. I did a 2-year internship with him. I've also worked with Cindy Kaza as well a few times. And from then it's just kind of taken off. Yeah. But I love working with the group that we work with, where we value both. we have the sensitives, and we have the tools. And also, I'm not one that competes with other mediums. You know, just because I see something and you don't doesn't mean it's not there. And just because you do and I don't doesn't mean it's not there. And the more value of more people seeing the same thing, experiencing the same thing, adds that evidence. So I love it.
Well said.
Very well said. And welcome to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence, because what you just described completely aligns with the para-unity that we preach every week on our show, and aligns with all the people that we love and adore, like Jennie and Anthony and all of us. And that's why we're so close-knit, is because of what you just said. So thank you, Kimm, for saying that. That was awesome. That was really awesome.
Great.
So we got a couple questions for Kimm. The first one, do you see ghost animals? Actually, that's the second one.
Do see ghost animals. Yes, I do. Yes, I have done readings for people where animals come up, and I can also see them on a location. Usually if they're on location, it's residual.
And then the second one, this was one I really wanted you to answer too, was, so what does a location medium do?
Yeah, great question. So basically how I explain this to people is, you all know how a regular medium works, right? Like you go and you have a one-on-one and you sit with somebody across from you, or it's a gallery, but basically a medium is reading the person and their loved ones. Hopefully you're not reading the person, but they're reading their loved ones coming in for the person. So how I describe this is basically the location is my sitter. They're my person. So I go to the location, I ask for permission to read a location. Most give permission. I'll say 95. I have been to places where they don't, but most give permission. And then I ask if there are any spirits who would like to come forward to speak about the location. Usually these are individuals who have had a close tie with the place, right? They're the one maybe built it, they've lived there a long time, you know, the ones that have like a really close connection. And so they'll tell me about the location. But not only is there like a direct spirit contact for a location, but it'll also be like psychic residual stuff as well. So I'll see events that have happened, like major events in the history. I'll also see like what it looked like back in the day. I'll see if a building used to be there or something, a road, if it was moved, you know, new build, you know, how it's changed. So it's a little bit of remote viewing. It's a little bit of psychism, and then also connecting to, you know, not earthbound spirits who are coming in to talk to me about the location. Yeah. Does that help? Is that a little more clarity on that?
That's awesome.
Yeah, good.
So this one's confusing a little bit. As a vet, are you able to give comfort to the animals that have crossed and MIG? What is MIG, Todd?
Todd.
The hell is that?
Am I able to give comfort? Well, the animals and people who have crossed over, in most of my experience, they are very well adapted and they know that they're spirits. This is not what we're talking about when we're talking about spirits at locations. It's different. It's a different kind of thing. These are like well crossed over spirits, and usually those are animals as well. I've never experienced an animal that like did not quote unquote cross over, if you can understand that. Anyway, so it's more comfort for the people who are still here, Todd. The people who are here want the comfort that their pet is still with them.
Right. Yeah.
I just have one question for Todd. How are you typing unexpectedly and get MIG, even with a
What the hell is MIG? That's awesome. Okay, so now I want to take a moment, and y'all have met Jennie, and if you haven't, you have been underprivileged, and you are at a loss if you have not met once a show. If you have not met Jennie Collucci, you guys are definitely missing out. Her and Audra are like the two Disney characters that escaped and are walking around with the fairies and the birds and all the animals coming around. And then Anthony Simonelli, you guys, Anthony Simonelli is one of the best people on the planet. Why don't you guys now that Kimm has told what her part is explain the show that you guys got coming up and what it is, and what all three of you do for that podcast that's going to start October 1st.
You start first, Jen. Ladies first.
I was just gonna say go. Okay, so our thank you, Chad. Ditto. The name of our podcast is Seekers Chronicles, which you all know. Anthony's team is the Seekers Club, and I'm an honorary member of that. I like to say, I am with my group Parasite, but I'm an honorary seeker. I always say I'm a seeker. I gotta say it like him.
You're a seeker.
I'm a seeker.
You're a seeker.
I'm a seeker. It's called Seekers Chronicles Paranormal Historians. And obviously, historian, that refers to Kimm because she is the ghost history medium. And my job is to do investigating and researching. And her job is obviously heavily focused on the mediumship and the history. And Anthony's job is just to look good doing it.
Can't help it, you know? Born this way.
No, I mean, the three of us, we just have this simpatico. We have this, really great relationship, and we investigate together all the time. And it's just a great team.
That's awesome. That is really
So
cool.
Tuesday nights on ERRT Radio Network on YouTube, 8 p.m. And Chad, we will do our best to go as fast as possible so I can get to Paranormal Lens, my favorite podcast, other than AVPI.
I'm like, hang on a minute here.
8 p.m. I'm assuming Eastern time.
My second favorite podcast.
Eastern time.
Eastern time, so 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay.
So we're gonna miss all of October till time change. Then we can catch it.
Oh,
That's 5 o'clock. I'll still be driving.
sorry.
Oh, right.
I can come in after the first half hour. But
Yeah,
Okay.
you
I'll
can
catch
put it
you.
on the TV. You
I'll
can put
catch
it on and listen to it on your car. Come on.
That's right.
No excuse.
Magnet mount. Put it
That's
on the
true.
phone. Put it on the dash.
I never thought of that. Good.
People
Good.
text and drive. You can podcast and drive.
I've done it for you guys.
Good answer. Good answer.
So,
Now you're thinking.
now I guess you done, Jen, or should I? Or
Yes, please
like
go.
you said, Seekers Club. Seekers Chronicles Paranormal Historians. Hey, and yeah, I'm just the looks of the place. You know what I mean? So I'm just the looks. That's. I guess nobody's gonna watch now. No, but what we got it together because Seekers Chronicles, we're all into getting into history. I didn't get into history until after I got into the paranormal. I started investigating these like 300-400-year-old buildings, and I'm like, wow, the way they built them and everything else, and the history of them. So I got more of the history of that. Jennie, she loves doing research, and Jennie does everything. I mean,
What is that?
nobody's
Keep
slowing
it
you down.
appropriate.
And Kimm, she does the reading of the land. So we got together and decided let's get this started. So like she said, October 1st on Earth Radio, 8 o'clock. And so come check it out. And should I announce who our first guests are?
Go ahead.
Okay. Our
As
first,
shy as I am.
Sure.
Yes.
October 1st, which Kimm did not find out till tonight because she had to do some readings and she did them, and now she's found out tonight. But our first show is the Montgomery House and the history of the Montgomery House. And we have two guests coming, which is Chris and Audra.
Nice.
Guests on our show. And it's going to be awesome to start the show with you guys and what we're doing. And we're doing the research and finding out different things about the location too. And we're going back. Matter of fact, I went on genealogy and I punched in Dr. John Montgomery and I found a bunch of stuff. Jennie found so much stuff. She goes back even further than me onto the land. And then Kimm did her reading. So hopefully everybody enjoys the show,
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect trio.
Yeah.
You guys are perfect together.
We're not just going with the paranormal. We want the history also.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what led to some of the hauntings.
Yes.
Later on. So
this is fantastic, guys, because so for everybody watching that doesn't know, which is probably nobody in the group, but Audra and I have an 1830s plantation home that we discovered here when we first moved here to North Carolina that has been sitting on its original foundation since the day it was built. And we know the history. We've done multiple investigations, just her and I, and then her, I, and Carrie Hopper was the one that started to help us start it in the Montgomery house. And we partnered with the Montgomery County Historical Society, who owns the property. And they allowed us to come in and do an investigation. And in turn, by doing that, we told them what we do, who we are. And I promised them if they let us prove that it's haunted, we could bring other groups in. I said, I'll help maintain the property. I'll fix what needs to be fixed because everybody knows my construction background. I said, I'll go in and I'll spray the house because it's an 1830s plantation home, guys. It's not weather tight. It's not climate controlled by any means. Mm-hmm. And I told them, if you allow us to do paranormal investigations here and we can prove to you that the place is haunted, I can get paranormal groups in here. And every penny we make, I will give to the Historical Society to preserve this location. And that's what we've been doing now for over 3 years, almost 4 years in North Carolina, is we go to this house. I took Stetson to visit it for the first time today. And every penny we make from groups that come in and do paranormal investigations here goes straight to the Montgomery County Historical Society, and they put it right back into the house. And it is a fantastic location. And I am so excited to be able to have it on your guys' show. And the fact that you guys are doing this, we promote this on our show all the time. It's those historical locations that paranormal people work so hard to preserve, not just for us, but for the history alone, is fantastic. And for you guys to put it on a show and put that out there is phenomenal. And I love it. And I'm a little biased, but I am so excited that Audra and I get to be on the show and you guys get to show the Montgomery house. Because, guys, there is so much history in the United States that we are losing by letting stuff like the Montgomery House go. And the fact to get it out there and get groups in there and send that money to places like the Historical Society to preserve it is just phenomenal. And I love the fact that you guys have this show started.
I got to agree with Chris. The fact that you guys are and first guest to show the Montgomery House and talk about it in the history, just fantastic. But on the flip side of that, Chris, what you and Audra have done for the past 4 years, getting paranormal investigators in it to experience it, because we've been there. It's a great location. Yeah. But the time, the effort, and the ability that you and Audra have put in to keep it standing, to keep money coming in, to keep those walls in shape, to keep funds coming in, to have access to, even if it's just a little bit, but the more investigations, the more money to keep it together. Just fantastic that you guys do that. I mean, it was wonderful.
And for other investigators, they have some place to investigate, to to learn about the history of Montgomery. That's awesome.
just incredible. Bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
So for everybody that's never been to the South, bless your heart is not a compliment.
Found that out the hard way.
So when you
on my way over there.
Yeah. When y'all come to the South, if somebody goes, "Oh, bless your heart," they're calling you dumb. When they say, "Oh, bless your heart," they're calling you fucking stupid. And they went, "Oh, good Lord, bless your heart." Oh, they are just. It is not a good thing. It's not.
Dang.
Okay, then just say bless, no more heart.
Yeah, bless. Bless is even better. That's,
bless.
Yeah.
That's funny.
We're looking for locations like
And
that.
you're gonna.
First
you're all-
locations that nobody really been to. Jennie got a bunch of them out by her.
Right.
And first time we're going in and we're doing our interview, we're doing stuff there too. And like you said, we want to try to keep some of these old locations. And you got the ones that are more popular that are out there, and they're struggling also, but they're known. We're trying to get people to locations that are not known, and like Jennie, she has so many places, and Kimm, they have places that nobody actually knows about. And maybe we could help out and maybe get some people to start going there and do investigations to get them some money to keep them going.
Well, and it's fantastic you said that, Anthony. And I don't mean to get on a soapbox, but just as an example, and I'm not bragging us up by any means, the Montgomery House is a fantastic location that their benefactors disappeared during COVID, right? This is a place that would have diminished and just dissipated into the history of time and never been known if they wouldn't have had the opportunity for us to come in and give them money to keep it maintained. And it's these little places that are the fabric of the history that we thrive on as paranormal investigators. And it's the little places that we need to make sure that we nurture and make sure that we cultivate those places and keep them around, because the big places are the big places. People are going to be drawn to those, like Trans-Allegheny and Waverly Hills, right? And places like up in New York where they're going nonstop, right? It's the little places like the Montgomery House and other little places like you're going to see on these three's podcast, Kenny, Jim, and Jennie, Kimm, and Anthony, that it's to cultivate those smaller places that keep that fabric of the paranormal together. And that is fantastic. Quit focusing on the large stuff. The large stuff is phenomenal places to investigate, don't get me wrong, but it's the little stuff that keeps the fabric of the paranormal together, and we can't lose it. And that's fantastic. That is just awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that collaboration that you're talking about. And I think it's so important because, these stories, and especially these, not stories, but like the rumor mill about personal, like not personal, but each haunting, like the stories behind a lot of these hauntings or whatever, or ghosts in these places, a lot of them can be exaggerated. A lot of them aren't even actually based in what really happened there. I have absolutely gone to a place in PA, and they were telling the story that a young boy died out in the back, in a river in the back. And going through the history, I did find, yes, there was a young boy of that age who died in the family, but he didn't die there. And the only way I knew that was I got his death certificate, which you can get. It is public. You have to pay for it, but you can get that, and you can actually get the location and how he died. So that story that's being passed on, and to be fair, could there have been an incident where another young boy that was never in the newspaper or, never documented died in the river? Absolutely. That could have happened back there. But the story that they're trailing with this family of that boy did not drown in the river back there. So, and that the only way to do that is going through the history and helping some of these locations either correct some falsehoods or correct the story and not have it be so exaggerated. But I also love the collaboration because, I've been to a lot of historical places and they're always like, oh, what are you doing? And some are more open than others. And if we can really demonstrate to them, like, hey, we can really help you. Like we can, and we want to. We're not just like trying to exploit like anything like this. We just love, I call them ghosties. We just love the ghosties. We don't know why. We're just here to investigate and to prove, and we can help.
That's fantastic.
I agree. We were recently investigating at a home built in 1725, and they have a portrait that they inherited from the original family, and they don't know who it is. And that's the kind of questions we get. Like, can you help us find out who this is? We have this portrait. We don't know who it is. And wouldn't you know it? We got an EVP of who it is. And they never would have gotten that if they didn't take a chance on the paranormal.
Right.
I mean, if we could promote some of these places, like we said, maybe we could keep them going,
Yeah.
And later on, once we get this all gone, all settled and stuff, we might have fundraisers for places and try to go to locations and help them out, have something going on or so they could collect money.
Yeah.
Great idea.
And I also say, behind every phenomena that we capture, behind every EVP, behind every footstep that we may capture or apparition or whatever evidence you capture is a life, is a person, is a story that was there. Ideally there. Sometimes they wander in, but ideally they have history there.
Yes.
Fantastic. So you guys have
I
an
love that.
intro to your show that I'd like to show the audience. So I have to share, sorry. And hopefully it pops up on my
It's okay.
so I don't look stupid. And no, it didn't. So let me fix this.
That's me.
Yeah, I hear Jenny. So let me share this screen. We'll share the audio. And that's the wrong clip. I'm trying to show the clip you guys sent. Here it is.
Okay.
So this is the clip, which is an introduction to your show. Let me do that again. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. Stetson's throwing me off. Sorry, it's his fault.
It's just a sampling of locations you're going to see.
All right, here we go.
Looks familiar.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Hey. Yeah.
That's good. Is there actually audio? Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no audio. There hasn't been for.
It's just music.
Oh, okay.
Look at that guy.
Right. And that is it.
Pretty
Thank
That's the show. Thank you, people. Good night.
Yeah, good night.
Beautiful places. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some beautiful
Can I
places
introduce
in
one more
there.
person really fast? Go see Dada.
Sweet.
Everybody, this is my granddaughter, Miss Ophelia Bell.
Oh, Hey,
Oh my goodness. Hi, baby.
Hi. Say hi. Say hi. Wave. Can you wave?
Hi, beauty. Hi.
There she is.
Nice.
This is our first grandchild. This is Miss
She's
Ophelia.
like,
Beth.
who is that?
Give us just a second. I told you she's like her father.
No. Poor thing. She's busy.
Good mama.
Beautiful.
She wants to get back to her cartoons. She doesn't want to look at us. Even though we look at cartoon characters.
I don't know. We got a wave. That was good. She waved.
I know. Oh,
We got a wave.
sweet.
Got a
It's
wave.
bedtime. She's not happy.
Aw,
Yeah.
But that is
how
my grandmother.
sweet.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, so sweet.
Good job.
Yeah, nice work.
Yeah. So
Nice
Jenny
work.
made that clip. Want to explain that clip, Jen?
I said Ophelia.
Yes, I just wanted to show some of the locations that we'd be featuring. They're beautiful, beautiful places. And you also saw Kimm in wasn't it? That's the place you were mentioning, correct?
Yeah. No, as we
Did
were
I put
going
you in
through it, I was like,
St.
oh, yeah,
Patrick's
that
Cemetery?
place. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
right,
that one,
exactly.
yeah. No, St. Patrick's Cemetery was in there. Cooper's Gristmill was in there. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. Van Vechten House, the White House, as I call it, was in there.
Montgomery House, right?
Montgomery
The
House.
Frelinghuysen Mansion.
Frelinghuysen Mansion. Yeah, I was
Lots of
with
gorgeous
I
places.
was on the ride too. Yeah.
Yes.
So here's the best part. Without giving any history of the locations, we have got some clips of evidence caught at each one that you just saw, correct?
Nice.
Some of
So
them, yes.
we're promoting your guys' new show. You tell me which clips you want to start with first.
That's you, Jen.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Go
Anthony,
in order.
what do you want to start with?
Well, what do you have?
Let's go with the Willows. The Willows.
Yes, that's what we just did.
The Willows. That was that Gothic style one where you saw the arches out front with the moonlight.
All your clips are numbered, so let's just pick one and we'll go.
Four. Oh, 3. Okay, 3 or 4.
I don't know. Does it say the Willows?
No, they don't have names on them at all.
Just play them and then.
Oh,
you know,
no. Just play 'em. Just
Tell us
play
which
'em.
location. Guys, this is
First,
going to be
go
like a
ahead.
mixed CD done in the 90s. So there might be some in-betweens.
Oh,
So-
no. I sent them in groups.
No, you're good. I downloaded them in groups, but they didn't end up that way.
Oh, no.
It's Stetson's fault.
Number
Blame
35.
him.
Yeah, blame somebody.
Yeah, gotta blame
Let's
someone.
blame Ron.
Yeah, it's Ron and Lourdes' fault. It's
Yep.
the UK's
Ron's
backwards.
fault.
Oh no.
Doesn't matter. We can talk about it after.
Why don't I skip around? So we will share a screen here.
Yeah, roulette. Whatever, which one?
That's right.
You got a dot? Just throw it at the screen.
A dot.
A dot.
A dot.
A dot.
All right, so we're gonna start with this
Dog.
one here.
It's like a Sika. There we go.
So let me play that again. This is the Sunset Valley Playhouse, Somerset Valley Playhouse.
The Somerset Valley Playhouse. And the guy, that's the founder.
Okay, here we go.
Chris, just out of curiosity, are you sharing the audio? Because it sounds like it's coming through your mic.
No, I'm sharing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I will present it
So-
again.
It's okay.
I'll also share audio. Entire screen. Click it again. Here we go. Is that better?
Yeah, that was better.
A little. Yeah.
It's twice.
So
So let's talk about the Somerset Playhouse.
yeah. Okay, sure. So that was mine. I had them contact me. It's a small playhouse near us. That used to be a one-room schoolhouse in the early 1900s. I thought that was really interesting. It was a little red schoolhouse, and it became a print shop, and then it became a playhouse where they show plays now regularly. And you know, I love a theater, right? The Ritz Theater and all. So I love a theater. And they specifically asked us to come to get them some answers about things they had been experiencing there. And Kimm did a reading inside and out. And they told us that they felt like the founder, Gary, who was that guy, was following them around. And sure enough, I put that clip in there because sure enough, we asked him, Gary, are you following people around? And he was like, yeah. So it was kind of neat. It was a bunch of elderly volunteers there, and they just wanted some answers about who had been there. Former actors, former teachers at the school, principals, and it was a really cute little place. And it was just a couple of us. Kimm was there, Anthony and I were there. It was a fun little treasure.
It's a cute little place until you realize the founder's falling into the bathroom, and then it gets a little.
Well, the neat part about that story is we were there with people who knew him. Yeah. And the audio's a little bit garbled there, but I was able to play it for them and say, do you recognize this voice? And they said, that's Gary.
Wow.
So it was
That's awesome.
90-year-olds. They were 90-year-olds.
There. Yeah, it was so great having all
90.
Yeah, they and it's funny because when you usually have people on investigations that are from the location, they're all usually talking and everything. These people stayed quiet the whole time and just let us do what we had to do. And we weren't coming up with things. They were like, "Oh, that sounds like so and so." And they were verifying everything that we were coming up on audio. Even Kimm's readings, they were coming up like, and they were saying, you know, that's this person and that's this person. And Kimm was doing readings, not even in a room with them. She was like outside. And she'll come in and say this name, and she'll like bring up people, and there's like, yeah. And it was really cool how they verified everything at the moment that we were getting.
Right.
That was
it was very fortunate. We don't usually have that, but I wish we could have that more often. It's almost like our personal little historians there. But it was so cool because we were able to bring like through all the evidence and the pictures and the images, we were able to answer questions for them. B, have them be involved in it. So they actually felt like they were, you know, that we weren't, you know, doing something in the middle of the night and presenting something. They were actually a part of it and they really appreciated it. They were really happy to be a part of it. And I was grateful they were there too.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That was awesome. That was one of the best investigations.
Yeah. So more to come on that in the podcast because there's actually quite a bit of evidence for that.
Don't give it up. Don't give it all up.
Yeah.
I even drew some pictures of people or spirits that I seen there. So I got like 3 pictures.
I believe I sent one to you, Chris. So one of the pictures that comes up will be somebody from that location.
You mean that one?
That's it. Yep.
Oh yeah, she was down in the basement. Kimm, I don't know if when you were on the couch talking. And you were getting stuff. I seen her standing behind you. She was the doorway. That doorway, right? Because you had the couch, and then behind you was the doorway. I seen her walk in, right there, and like she walked in not just through that doorway. She came in through the other doorway with the
she went into the prop room. Yep, she went into the prop room, and then shortly after, I was like, I need to go into the prop room, and then I went in and we got the bottle, and then we got the response. Yeah, so more to come on that, but really. When
I see things, and I don't say what I see, I go home and I draw them. Sometimes I draw them on location, but I go home and draw them. So none of them ever even knew I seen this person. I might say I feel something here. But I don't tell them what I see. And so I draw it and then...
Yeah, Anthony's still a little secretive.
You bastard.
The area of paranormal investigations I come from not talking about it to everybody on talking about it on YouTube and everything else too.
And I'm like, Anthony, you saw that? You saw something. Tell me.
Yeah. It looks like a dancer to me. It doesn't look like a student or a
like
a
a
teacher.
performer.
It looks like a dancer.
Yeah.
Because they still got.
But yeah, more to come on that.
Don't give up too much,
For
y'all.
sure. I know.
I mean, you can give up all you want on our show if you want.
I know.
Oh, so much more. And then Kimm was able to provide so much of the history of people who, could be there. And the greatest part is working with elderly people who actually knew the people, which sometimes we're in these 400-year-old places where nobody could have known them. It's kind of neat that they were real people that they know.
Right.
They were like 399 years old.
Right.
Anyway, cute little place. We're trying to feature these places.
Yeah.
Anybody shows up to those investigations says, I know these people. It's like Tom Cruise or like Brad Pitt. And you're like, yeah, you don't want to deal with that shit. It's like,
No.
So let's share another clip. I will do all the ones where I have to share screen first because they seem to be being a pain in the ass tonight for some reason. So Tony, FYI for future, there's now 2 audio share buttons.
When did that change?
Apparently tonight to make Chris look stupid. So
wow. Okay, good to know.
So now we've got to share it twice. And thank you, my son Stetson, for being on tonight because he caught the second one. And I'm like, that's bullshit. It was just the one. No, there's 2 now.
Oh.
Yeah, it used to just be 1. Wow.
Yeah. So here is the next clip. Here we go.
Oh.
Not the home, not the home.
Yeah.
So what location was that, y'all?
The Willows.
This is the Willows Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the home of General Joseph Revere, who is the grandson, correct? Grandson of the guy
Paul
we all know, Paul Revere.
Paul Revere, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So he built that home, and Richard thought, that's Richard Moschella. For anyone who doesn't know him, you're missing out completely. He works with us frequently, and a wonderful guy who's been on the show. He brought dirt from his actual gravesite. And he thought that would be a good idea for a trigger object. Well, not so much, I think. General Revere didn't really think so.
Wow.
Because he said, I brought it into your home, and the EVP clearly says, not the home, not the home.
But it got a reaction. You got to admit it. Got a reaction.
Yes. It was a good idea. And he found his grave and went there and got some dirt and brought it into the attic. Ron was there with us too.
Yeah. And he honored his wishes, and he didn't bring the dirt to our second investigation with the public then. So
did he put it back where he found it?
I don't know what he did with it.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But he didn't want it in the house.
Still has it.
Understandably so. Yeah.
So for everybody watching, if you get a response like that, put it the fuck back where you got it. That's what we call leave it right. Leave it right where you found it.
That was really clear. And so the Willows was built in 1854. Am I correct? 1854. Beautiful Gothic structure.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 more for the share screen, and then we'll quit using that. Yeah. See, Todd asked the same question. Did he put it back? That's funny.
Probably.
He probably brought it home. Now he's growing tomatoes out of it.
1. Yeah, there's 1.
So
and there's 2. What the hell? Thank you, StreamYard, for making this difficult for us. So here is the next clip. Here we go.
Oh gosh, that's like a totally different thing. Can we do that last or no?
We can. Would you
okay,
like me
let's
to
do it later?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about this one?
Yeah, great. This is Richard's drawing.
Rich Marcella.
Okay.
Yep.
So you guys can talk about this because the audio is not cut out.
Right. So this is the Derek Van Vechten house built in 1725. It's actually down the street from me. And Richard did these drawings before he got there. There's no way for him to see inside. And he did these drawings. And I took this drawing over to that portrait I told you about. And I was a bit blown away. This is me talking.
Yeah, I said to him, I was like, "You drew the portrait, Rich," and he was like, "Did I?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah. He's like, "What portrait?" It was incredible.
So look at this resemblance, y'all. I looked at this before the show.
It's good, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
I was like, "Richard, go in that room." He's like, "What room?" "Over there."
Yeah,
Wow.
there.
That's a dead ringer.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is. I mean,
That-
the close set eyes, the long nose, the high collar.
You talked to him.
That's spot on. That's
It is.
I know.
Chin, the collar, the hairline, the eyebrows. Look at
That's
that.
awesome.
It's amazing.
For frick's sake, he
It's
got the
amazing.
nose right too.
right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I asked him, could I show this tonight on here? Because he drew this, before he even got there. He didn't even know about the place, that it existed. It's a really tiny gem near where I live, and most people haven't been there or heard of it.
For
But it's
everybody
400
watching,
years old,
yeah, 400 years old. But if everybody watching, this guy was in Grease Lightning with Olivia Newton-John.
Look at his
See the
hand.
butt?
It's huge.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Back of that
Yeah,
jacket.
Richard
says
nailed
T-Bird.
it.
Yeah, he nailed that.
Nailed
Yeah,
it.
That was good.
That is weird.
Nailed it.
Weird. God, that's. Why are you looking at me? Look at them.
You looked at me.
What do you think, Stetson? He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Yeah, that was dead
Richard
on.
Moschella people.
Yeah, Richard Michelle.
Yeah.
He's up in. He's like Anthony. He's a spiritual reader, and he draws these things before he gets to the location, and that is phenomenal. Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the one that
And he could never have known that.
Yeah.
No.
Richard's
Right.
the
I
one
mean, that was donated from the
that-
family, Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, Richard showed.
Pretty cool.
He showed my art because I never showed my art for
Yeah.
years, and he talked me in. Why not? You want to show it and stuff like that? So I've been drawing forever. I mean, I have hundreds of pictures, and Richard told me he was doing a little show. And he asked me to come and do the show with him. I said, I'll bring some pictures. I put like 100 pictures in. Next thing you know, and now I'm doing my spirit art. It's all because of Richard. So
Yeah, Richard's a phenomenal dude.
he gave me the confidence to actually start showing my stuff.
He is
That's
phenomenal. And just to mention it, Todd and Carmela were with us at that location as well, the Cocos.
Dos Cocos.
And
Coco.
and they have some great evidence, which I can hope to persuade that that will be on our show.
Very cool.
Hey, don't start the evidence crap. Just kidding.
Dos Cocos.
So I'm going to show a clip, and this one is from the Montgomery house. So
Oh, good.
not to spoil too much of it, but when Audra and I first did the first investigation of the Montgomery house, Audra picked up on, she's like, oh my God, there's a little sermon boy standing in front of me. And then I started connecting with Audra, and I said, his name is Joseph. He's 5 years old. And you will see a piece of evidence on Jennie, Anthony, and Kimm's show when we're on the first that collaborates this with the Historical Society. But this is the response that we got from Joseph on the first investigation. So here we go.
Ooh.
Why is he here?
That's clear.
Wow.
Here, yeah.
So you hear the little boy's voice is here.
Yeah,
Very
it's very,
clear.
very clear.
Clear.
Yeah, you can hear it's a little boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ooh.
it was a phenomenal piece. And I'm not going to give any more away because I sent you guys what I'm referring to that collaborates what we picked up. So it was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, this is just a teaser. We're trying to give you
This is
some
a teaser.
teasers.
Yeah.
That's great, though.
All right,
Yeah.
so the next one we're going to show is a number that Chris messed up because of Stetson. So we're going to play it now, and then Kimm, Anthony, and Jennie are going to explain what this one is. Here we go.
Amazing. Everyone is working closer. There's some time, not a lot, because it looks here, paperwork.
Very,
So,
very
Very nice.
Expression
yeah,
of
that's me getting a
wow.
tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting a tour of the kitchen, and she's just telling me the history, and I'm like, oh, amazing, very cool, whatever. And it's always just leave your recorder running. That's what I can tell you. Because when I listened back to it, I was like, what is that? Wow.
Yeah.
Somebody was impressed.
Yeah.
At least somebody was impressed, you know?
You know, guys,
Well, to me, it sounded like a woman's voice. It sounded like a woman's wow.
Right.
And
Yeah.
there is a very strong woman presence there, female presence there, Claire.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Kara.
And I got to be honest with you, Jenny. I'm almost glad that I screwed these up and put them in the wrong order, because it also forces our viewers to watch your shows to know which one connects with which show. So it's kind of good that I screwed up.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's at the Willows Mansion as well. And Anthony and I, we had an event there recently, and Anthony and I had the kitchen. We got, of course, because we had the cannoli. No, we had what did we have? Rum cakes and coffee and donuts.
Rum cake, yeah. Chuck Paranormal. Chuck, he actually made homemade rum cakes.
Yeah, we don't fool around.
He made them. Like, that stuff is good. Real rum.
You can always guarantee you eat well on an investigation with Simonelli.
Oh yeah,
nothing wrong with the kitchen.
I picked the kitchen.
We had a box of Joe.
Right.
We had the donuts. Hey,
we did.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll take the kitchen. Staticom upstairs.
Yeah, Staticom was away from. We got the kitchen.
Staticom was up in the sweaty, hot bedroom, and we were in the kitchen with all the coffee and donuts. I'm like,
that's why you bring a Bluetooth speaker. You can move anywhere.
That's right.
The Staticom can be up in the haunted hot room, and the speaker can come down to the kitchen.
Smart. Ron's not here, so we can laugh.
And I don't know about you all, but not to get this too pornographic, but a sweaty hot bedroom is not necessarily always a bad thing. So as we move forward,
there was a giant horsewhip in that bedroom too. Actually, I don't know if you saw that. There was actually like an old carriage whip up there.
Oh,
it was like
believe me, I saw it.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know how that correlates to history.
I was like, ooh.
Did you guys just hear Stetson? Ooh. He goes, "Is this the point where Audra would have kicked you?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would have been right there.
One of us. She would have given the eyes to one of us at this point. She was like this.
There is not an EVPE show that at some point goes off the rails. Never.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
How's that go, Tony?
A horse whip.
I don't know. Brown chicken, brown cow.
All right. So I'm going to skip around a little bit to leave some intrigue for you guys to show. And we're going to do another one from the Montgomery house.
Yay.
So this one actually took place when EVPE was there, all six of us, for the first time to do an investigation. And Audra was upstairs and introduced Lourdes to Sarah. So here we go.
All right. That's a great one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's so good. Can you play that again? Just one more time,
can.
Please? Thank you.
Here we go.
That's so good.
It is so awesome.
It is good.
Sarah loved Lourdes for some reason.
I love
for some reason.
Until she gets hungry.
Until Lourdes gets hungry, and then she gets a little.
Yeah.
Lourdes is like a Snickers commercial. Yeah.
She is. She's a walking Snickers commercial.
Here,
we miss her.
Yes. Yeah. And we'll be back next week. So here is a 4-second clip from one of your other investigations. Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, where did Tony go? What the hell?
I'm going to use your bathroom.
Nope.
Everybody, when Tony comes back, tell him we heard him flush.
He actually be sprayed. We can smell that.
He didn't wash his hands. Tell him we didn't hear you wash your hands, Tony. Come on. I'll go ahead and play another clip. We're just messing around. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah. You have to have at least one get out per show.
Yeah. Common phrase in the paranormal community.
That's the Somerset Valley Playhouse again. And that's the prop room. And we found there was a kind of an angry guy in there who didn't like us. And a lot of yelling we couldn't decipher, but we got that one.
And we've talked about this numerous times, guys. The spirits that we encounter on these investigations are just people without their meat suit, right? An asshole in life, asshole in death, right? You have come into somebody else's location that they considered their home when they were here on the earthly plane, and now they're not, but they're still considering it home, right? It's free will. We choose to be where we want to be, right?
Yeah.
And if somebody walked into my house right now, I'd tell them to get out. There would be a lot more persuasion than that, but we would tell them to get out. So get out is a common phrase in the paranormal community because we are walking into a space that they don't consider ours, they consider theirs.
Yeah.
Right? So,
right. And can I just add one thing to that?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, look out.
Jennie, was that the prop room or was that the dressing room?
That was the prop room.
Okay.
And we got nothing but yelling at us on the EVPs. But can I just also say, remember, it was also a print shop. So it could be dangerous. Like, I never try to interpret why. It could be just for our safety, or it's a principal. It was a one-room schoolhouse saying, what are you doing here? Get out. The kids are trying to learn. So you never know. You can't assume.
Matter of fact, wasn't the print shop, it went on fire? And it's still
it did. Yeah, it did burn.
The ceiling where the beams are, that's scorched still from that era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was able to find the newspaper article of when that actually happened because they're like, we don't know. We think there was a fire or something, and no, there was. Year and how it happened. Right. So
So it could be get out. It's burning.
Could have changed the intent. Yeah.
Right. I always say that. Don't assume intent.
Right. That's why I was checking to see if that wasn't in the dressing room because I could definitely because there was kind of like yeah. And I was like, well, that would make sense, get out of the dressing room. It wouldn't be like a something getting out.
We go into the dressing room. They say that's the women's dressing room, but it says men's on it.
I know, it's very confusing.
Walk in there, it's like all dressed and stuff like
we're very confused.
I guess this is the era now.
We're like, get out.
It's like, get out, maybe. But I did draw somebody from it. From that, I actually drew a character. I drew somebody that was I seen in that room. So we'll see that on the podcast.
Flashy thing.
This is not nice and silk.
That's funny.
MIB comment, yeah.
Antone had a question before about the Somerset Valley Playhouse. I just didn't want to miss it. He did ask a question. He asked if we showed the drawings to the elderly people that asked us to come. And the answer is not yet. They're actually on a cruise. So when they get back,
Here's the all-you-can-eat.
That was a good question. Yeah, they're on a cruise right now until November. So when they get back.
Jennie put together a whole packet of info for them and evidence review.
They wanted a report.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you did that, Jennie. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It is great.
Yeah.
We like to do that for them.
That's great.
So Tony, the whole audience wanted to let you know that we did not hear you wash your hands.
Yeah.
That's because I went out for a cigarette and a piece of candy because my sugar dropped.
Oh, gotcha. Never mind.
Sorry.
See,
Fair enough.
No, I didn't use the bathroom.
Fair enough.
Give me another 10 minutes. I'm still drinking.
All right, so let's go back to another. This one we can talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
So this is a reverse contrast of a picture taken in the Montgomery house by Piedmont Paranormal. Scott's in the chat.
Scott.
Yes, and this is what used to be the courtroom. They've got it set up now as what looks like a dining room, but it wasn't necessarily a dining room at the time. We don't know what the room was used for, but we do know that at one time it was used for court because the Montgomery County Courthouse burnt down. So if you look in the corner, there's a corner bookshelf type looking thing next to you see the hearth from the fireplace right there. The image you see standing behind the bookshelf and the hearth from the fireplace looks like a Civil War soldier. There was nobody else in the house. There was one person in the house taking pictures at the time. I think it was Mike Bennett or Zach Bennett. When they took this picture, that everybody was outside.
That's terrifying.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's
It is
really
Montgomery
cool.
had Civil War people. His kids were in the Civil War. So
Yes, 2 of his sons died in the Civil War. He had 3 sons. Dr. John Montgomery had 3 sons, and 2 of them died in the Civil War. One of them did not fight in the Civil War and became a doctor in Concord.
well, I know one lost his leg, and
Yeah, great catch, Scott.
Mike Bennett, there you go. Mike Bennett caught the picture.
Mike. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, incredible capture, no doubt about
Yeah,
it.
that's a great apparition. Yeah.
Piedmont Paranormal has been to the location at least 5 times, and they always come out with some great evidence. It is a fantastic location.
Yeah, they do. They do a really, really good job.
There's
I think
that.
the show is going to be a huge success for you guys, being able to have Jennie digging up the recorded history, having Kimm being able to pull from a psychic ability what she sees, and then Anthony being able to sketch out what he sees. I mean, when these things tie together, which I'm sure they will, that's going to be unbelievably interesting, and as Mary Beth says, amazing. But one thing, if Chris and Audra's show goes well on the Montgomery House, which I know it will, I would highly suggest, as some later follow-up show, have you guys look into the Phelps Dodge Hospital.
Oh.
okay. Oh yeah, I would be love to show
Good
you
one.
evidence.
Just
on
an
this.
idea, but
I would love that.
That's Anthony's favorite evidence ever,
That's-
and
that's-
I have to
Yeah,
agree.
the Holy Grail. I think it's the Holy Grail.
I have to
Well, I
agree.
can tell you, between Tony, Cherie, Audra, and I, we could give you so many damn clips of evidence for your show.
a couple of terabyte, your
Yeah.
show can run for like the next 6 years.
I know, but that's good stuff. You
Yeah.
think that's amazing? That
Matter of
picture.
fact, I'm gonna make a
Boy.
note of that.
Hey, Reeve.
Yeah, well, we'll have to make a road trip.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I did bring you up. We did a show with Bobby Gallo, and I told him about that evidence you had, and I
We
told
did.
him. I goes, "You guys send me a copy." I said, "That's the Holy Grail. To me, that's the Holy Grail. I would love
Yeah.
to have that. I could wish I could just change the name from Anthony Rackman to Anthony Simonelli on the evidence." Because that is like the Holy Grail.
It is.
It's true. Yeah.
The most phenomenal thing about that clip is I don't know how many times all of us saw that with our own eyes and
Yeah.
Right.
never captured a damn thing until you guys spent the night there.
Right. And second to last time we were there.
Yeah.
There was only one other time we were there
Yeah.
after that when the place was sold.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why you can no
Still
longer
to this day, it's pretty empty. That was 2021.
And we
Good God.
It
21.
was so long ago.
got to see you sleeping. We got to see
Yeah.
you sleeping.
Yeah.
That is
Matter of
one.
fact,
Well, we had cameras everywhere, and there was a FLIR and a DVR literally right next to each other.
Mhm.
That capture
Wow.
showed up on the DVR, but
Kim.
not the FLIR.
You went live.
Kim,
that
you
I
have
don't know
never
anything about this
seen.
place.
I know. You
Did
gotta
you guys
give
go
Kim a
live that
little
night?
something here. She doesn't
Well,
know.
no, it's okay if we do go. No, that's fine. Yeah, I don't need to know,
Okay.
but it sounds amazing.
Well, the place is not there no
Some of
more.
it's the greatest
No,
stuff
it's
you've
still
ever
there.
seen.
It's
Yeah.
there. It's just we can't access it anymore.
Yeah. Somebody
Um,
else did it. Yeah. But
I was like, well, because
Oh.
if the land is still there, I mean,
Yeah.
the building's still
The energy.
standing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The land is still there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So just to give you a concept, Kim, I've been investigating since I was about 25. I'm now 52.
You're old.
And yeah, I'm way old. So we've done Trans-Allegheny. We've done some phenomenal places. the Aho Hospital, which we did tours and stuff with Tony and Cherie for 2-3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
One of the most haunted places I have ever stepped into.
Wow. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
more than Queens Allegheny?
I would put that up there with Trans-Allegheny. Yep.
Really?
Wow.
And the difference is, it just as haunted, just as intense, experiences, evidence, and captures as Trans-Allegheny, but Trans-Allegheny is almost 300,000 square feet. The Aho Hospital was what, 32,000?
39.
39,000.
Wow.
So imagine that intense experience in such a minute location compared to Trans-Allegheny.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
You missed that place.
Yeah, I miss that place too.
I would have loved
Stetson
it.
even experienced
But,
quite
you
a
know,
few things there. Yeah.
If that place was still around, Tony and Cherie, I would never have met you guys in person. Because you guys came to New York then.
Right. That was the reason we came, because it was sold like a week before Ron and Lourdes were flying out.
Yeah.
And we turned around and they canceled their flight, and Shree and I booked to come out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Guys.
So we've got 4 more pieces of evidence to show of locations that you guys are going to show on your new podcast on October 1st. Well, not all of them on October 1st, because that would be a really long show. But here is another clip. Here we go.
Hi, I'm still Jenny, and we think we were speaking to a child. Can you tell me how old are you?
Wow. Timing
Yeah.
and relevance. That answer was right on time to the question. Answered from a relevant standpoint to the question asked. That was fantastic.
I agree with you 100%. Here's
Yeah.
what creeps me out is that did not sound like a 10-year-old.
No,
Play
it
it
did
again.
not.
Well, his daughter did die at 10. That is true.
Right.
His daughter did die, and it was absolutely
this-
devastating. So it could be his voice saying 10, but I don't know. Sometimes it gets distorted.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
this is again at the Willows Mansion in the attic with Ron sweating. He was like,
With
I
Ron.
know. He was
was
having
hot.
such a hard time.
it was hot. He was really hot. Yeah, Ron was next to me, and this is great. Ron had his DR60, I had mine, and we got totally different stuff at the same time.
Really?
Yeah, they were about
Really
maybe, what, like,
interesting.
2 feet apart.
2 feet
maybe?
apart.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
here's
You
a
got
more
stuff I didn't get.
here's a more incredible question. Was it 2 different voices that you guys were picking up?
We got
they were-
totally different stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't get the
one
same
would
stuff
catch
at all.
something and the other didn't catch it at all, or vice versa.
Right.
Oh,
I think Chris
wild.
was okay.
Gotcha. So one device picked up the responses, one device didn't.
Right.
Okay. Gotcha.
What do you think, Tony?
Well, I mean, that's very possible. I mean, we've had at
Oh, yeah.
times multiple recorders feet apart,
Yeah.
and that's one of the abilities they have. And we believe with the development of Staticom that it's the same principle of stochastic resonance, and that focus is being sent to a machine, which completely throws out the theory that it's a sound wave, or all 3 of them would have to pick it up if it was a traveling sound wave through the atmosphere.
Correct.
It's not. That energy is directed right to the machine. In fact, we've even tested and taken the mic completely out of the recorder, ripped it out, so there is no mic. The recorder will still capture EVPs. So it's not a sound wave, mechanical sound wave function.
Right.
It's being sent else some other way.
Could
And
it be
here's-
electrical? Could it be an electrical type wave? If it's not a sound wave and it's still being picked up on recorder, and there's no way of the audio with a microphone, maybe it's coming in through some kind of electrical waves.
Well-
Electrical waves can interfere with recordings or cameras or just your computer itself. So
Absolutely, you're absolutely correct. We don't know
yeah.
how it happens. and Ron says this best, but we're like the receiver that we're running with our back to what's happening.
Yeah.
And when we turn, it's just right there. And you grab that ball and you run with it. Same thing with Staticom. We have theories of how we believe through stochastic resonance, but even with a recorder, even a digital one, there's still white noise in the atmosphere, or there's probably some white noise with the turning of the equipment being produced, which could be used through stochastic resonance to make that unobtainable or undetectable voice detectable, and then through stochastic resonance gets elevated to the point that the machine can pick it up. Because when an EVP is left, there are times it can be heard with the human ear, but it's very rare. You don't hear the answers till you replay the recording. So, yeah.
Well, and a perfect example is every one of the EVPs that I've showed you that we caught at the Montgomery house during the EVPE 6 people investigation, right? It was Ron, Lourdes, Tony, Cherie, Audra, and I all in the same location. I had a recorder in the hallway on the second floor, or on the first floor. I had one in the courtroom on the first floor. I had one on the second floor. So I had 3 recorders going. Tony had 2 to 3 recorders going. Ron had 2 to 3 recorders going. And all these EVPs you are hearing were caught on one. And here's the amazing thing. In the Montgomery house location, if it was audible or a disembodied voice, every one of those devices would have picked it up. But in the occasion when we were all 6 there, the ones that I've showed you tonight from the Montgomery house was only picked up on one recorder.
Correct.
Right.
Not all the others. And we're 9 to 12 recorders we had going that night.
Right.
One recorder picked up these voices that I'm playing for you tonight.
Which definitely means to me it's focused on a single machine then. Has an EVP ever been recorded on multiple? It has, but it's rare. It's usually one machine. And if you look back, if anyone's seen, and I know most of you here on the screen probably have, and even people in the audience, but when I asked Staticom that question, how do you hear me speak? And the response came back, energy of the mind, that's the thing. It has nothing to do with vocals. There's no physical vocal sound wave necessary. It's my consciousness to universal consciousness. And when they're sending it back through some type of energy right to the machine. So
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Energy of the mind.
Energetic imprint. It's like an imprint that they are able to put in through consciousness. And I've said this to Ron. We've had many discussions about this too. I mean, it's very similar to how mediumship works. I mean, it's literally just an energetic imprint that I'm getting information, words, names, information, and it's just being received in a device in that way almost.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
That's interesting. Because I know with electricity itself, because being an electrician, that's what I relate to all the time. And like I said, the waves on electricity, the way it goes, like in hospitals, we have to wire things differently because you got different outlets, you have different ballasts for the thing. Everything has to be wired differently because of it can interfere with machinery.
Right.
I'm just thinking that if it has something to do with electricity, it can be, like you said, maybe directed, because electricity always finds a way to go. Now, if you have 4 recorders and it goes to one recorder, maybe that has to do with electricity because it's finding a purpose, a ground on one recorder instead of all 4 of them. So maybe that's how it's going, just to that one, because if it's something to do with electricity or anything like that,
that's very possible, Anthony. The only reason I would think, I mean, it could possibly conduct itself like electricity, but electricity would have a range point where it would die out. Whereas,
that's true.
Whereas, however this is happening, there is no bounds to time or space. I mean, we can turn on Staticom anywhere and get full conversations and full communication. We don't have to be at a haunted location. So however this is happening could work like you were just explained towards energy, but it's got to be a little different of a process because even energy, when it's flowing, has a range where it's going to die out and not continue to push forward. So
in 300 feet, there's a drop in voltage.
Right.
Feet.
Right.
Have resistors and transistors, all this stuff to up it, or transformers. So maybe with Staticom, because I remember Ron used to talk about stations, you know, different stations that you might be communicating with on the other side.
Yeah.
So maybe all those different stations, you're jumping from one to the next till it gets to you.
Right.
Well, and if you think about it, why would they need more than one station? There's 4 or 5 of them. There's a United States one, there's a South American one, there's a European one, supposedly. I mean, this is the information that's been passed along. But why would they need more than one if they could, you know, so that does make logical sense from a physics perspective.
Yeah.
Or maybe the spirit is standing next to that recorder. That's why it's just big time.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Or that
here-
too. Yeah. That's a possibility.
here's the thing: is logical doesn't relate.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It doesn't relate to anything we do, because if you notice, if you look at different EVPs, you hear Staticom. You listen to Staticom, it sounds like some of the voices are above, some of the voices are below, some of the voices are mixed in with the sounds that you're coming through. But you also hear it with some of the digital recorders and the EVPs that are recorded too. If you listen close to different EVPs, you'll hear the noise in the background. And sometimes the EVP that records to the digital recorder or whatever recorder you're using sounds like it's above that noise. But then other times it sounds like it's below that noise. And then other times you listen to that recorder and it sounds like it's behind that noise. And sometimes it sounds like it's in front of that noise.
Yeah,
it's that stochastic resonance that Tony keeps referring to. It's not in any certain field. It records where it chooses to record to, right?
Yeah.
I agree with that. And that attic at that time, I'll tell you that we got a yelling at Kimm. Kimm asked a question, and on my recorder, somebody was yelling at her, and Ron got nothing. And Ron and I were touching arms pretty much, holding our recorders. I mean, that close. And it was like yelling. I mean, it would have picked up on his for sure.
So
even if someone came right up to mine.
So Ron was running Staticom while you were recording?
No,
Oh,
we both
his
had our
recorder.
recorders, but we were standing directly next to each other. We were touching arms in that attic, and one of them is, so as far as the theory of talking into it, I mean, no way. This lady was screaming. Yeah. And I'm the only one who got it. Remember, Ron played it. Nothing.
Yep.
Yeah. No, but that makes me wonder if the transmission to a recorder or an EVP is the same transmission to Staticom when they speak.
Yeah.
And if you could ever hear it come through Staticom and realize it's on a recorder simultaneously, which would be a really interesting test that we're now going to have to try.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. When is Ron back? No, we'll do it.
We have one here.
Okay, that's right. I know, but I want to do it.
We got
Did you say
3 more clips from the show.
Sorry.
Which is a little teaser for your guys' show. This next one was caught. This one is awesome. I told you that Sarah loved Lourdes for some reason. All 6 of us were standing outside of the Montgomery house, and this was caught on just one out of the 7 to 9 recorders that we had going.
So cool.
This was actually caught on the 1st floor, but Sarah's known to be on the 3rd floor. And guys, she loved Lourdes to no end. Take a look.
Well, of course.
Lourdes.
So we were all outside. It seems like she was still searching for Lourdes. So,
like us tonight.
Wow.
Lourdes.
like us tonight. Where's Lourdes?
Where's Loki?
Lourdes. Oh, that's
Now we
so
got-
sweet.
It was awesome. And what's phenomenal is PPIT has caught a lot of stuff in the Montgomery house. We've caught a lot of stuff in the Montgomery house. When Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence came together as EVPI and did, for the first time, all 6 of us met in North Carolina and did an investigation together between the stuff we caught on recorders and the stuff that we caught on Staticom. It was the most phenomenal night.
Yeah.
It was completely amazing. And I wish I could show you more, but this is not about us. This is about
No, but
these.
you will show more.
But we will show more, definitely.
Yes.
So let me share screen again. We've got 2 more clips that you guys sent in from other locations. Unless you want to talk about the Montgomery house some more, because I can do that too. I'm just kidding.
I know, but you're going to.
I will on October 1st, but you got to tune in for that.
I can't wait.
Got to tune in.
All right, so let's go ahead and play this clip.
Mm-hmm.
I shared all 400 audio buttons that StreamYard now has. Here we go.
No sound.
Yeah, I can't hear it.
Okay, let me try it again. I hit every one of them this time.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's not your fault.
So this is a Hulte Chaos box, by the way, and it's at Fort William Henry in New York. And that's Nicole from Full Moon Paranormal with me.
Ah.
Okay, hopefully it works this time.
Yep.
Can you guys hear it?
No.
Not really. No.
Chris, are you sharing entire screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, that is very faint. I don't know why it's doing that.
Yeah.
Get away from them.
Yeah, I can't even hear it here.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't hear it.
I don't know why
Okay.
it's not okay.
Don't worry about it.
StreamYard is pissing
You
me
can
off.
you can go on Full Moon Paranormal on their TikTok. We're in the Ghosts of Somerville and listen to it. You know how we have Staticom and we hear these full sentences and everything like that? Well, I never hear that out of a box, right? Like this is a Steve and Katie Hulte, good friends of mine, made a AM Chaos box, which I have. You know the Hultes, right? And yeah, we were at Fort William Henry and we got things like "Get it away from them," "I'll take it away from them," things like that, like full-on sentences coming out of that AM Chaos box, which is just impossible. Tony can explain better than I can, but it's just impossible. You know, the speeds are changing very rapidly. It's going forwards, backwards.
Correct.
And we got 2 complete full sentences in a row that made sense. They were drumming, and I think they were telling him to take that drum away from them.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
Wow.
sorry, guys.
Yeah, but yeah.
Sorry we couldn't play
I
that
know,
clip.
they're
It was
great.
loud and clear when I
It's
reviewed
fine.
it.
Yeah.
And we had all the audio kicked in.
It's okay. It's okay. Go on
So
TikTok.
Let's try and do the next one. And hopefully StreamYard doesn't do this again. Share audio. Let me try this again just to make sure. Present, share screen, audio share tab, entire screen. Let's try this clip. Here we go.
Oh, we did that one.
We did that one. So apparently that was the last clip, and unfortunately we can't hear it. So screw StreamYard.
Oh. That's okay.
Let's try it one more time just to make sure. Audio, entire screen.
You didn't click the second one that time.
One last try. Here we go.
Third time is a charm.
No.
Yeah, it's not coming.
That it's
Can you guys hear it?
a little.
Little bit.
Do you mind telling us the name of this place, please? Get it away from them.
Yeah.
Get it away from them.
Spirit box, though.
Barely.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry guys.
Oh, that's okay.
Sorry
That's
to
okay.
cooperating with us tonight.
So weird.
Maybe.
The other ones were loud. So it's just that one. Don't worry about it.
That one is not working for some reason.
Yeah, weird.
My apologies. The last
Hey,
clip we cannot
Don't
show.
worry
So
about it.
the climax to the end of the
Don't
show
worry
is
about it.
epic. Sorry guys.
It's all good. No, we got the weird guy who said he was 10 but didn't sound 10. That'll be
Yeah.
the last one.
Well, he said 10 3 times. It was 30.
10
Yeah.
and 10, 3.
Oh, you turned.
Yeah.
Okay,
30.
good. You heard some of it anyway.
I turned it way up. I heard it. The neighbors could hear it. Unfortunately, we can.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Audio.
It does that sometimes. Sometimes I'll review evidence here that people send in for the show, and it blows my eardrums out. And then I go to show it on the show, and StreamYard tones it down for some reason. I don't know why it does it, but unfortunately.
Right. Oh, okay, this is great, Roger. Thanks for your help. I did hear when we first played it back, I heard 10. I'm 10. Ron was really good about pointing it out. He immediately says, I'm 10. And then 10, 10, and then we couldn't tell the rest. So 320, 3, 2, 1? Could be. I mean, it's. I couldn't understand the rest.
The lotto numbers.
But definitely the first I'm 10.
It's the Powerball.
Yeah, earbuds.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Sorry,
it doesn't
guys.
sound like a kid. No. Oh, I'm sorry, Roger. I never get it. I'm so gullible. Yeah,
That's all
anybody
right.
can get anything past me, just so you
Roger
know.
hooked us on that one.
It's not.
The most
not you,
important
Roger, it's
thing
me.
is Anthony, Jennie, and Kimm have a
Oh,
fabulous show coming up starting October 1st. And I'm not just saying that because Audra and I are the first ones on it, but everything after that is phenomenal.
But-
also. So we have reached the point in the show, guys, where it is called Shameless Plugs. And since Kimm, this is your first time here, prior to plugging your guys' new podcast, plug yourself. And we call it Shameless for a reason. Don't hold back. Tell everybody where they can find you, what you do, what you can help them with, where they could reach out to you, some of the stuff that you posted. Spill the beans, girl.
You got
Love
20
it.
minutes. Kim's very busy.
I do quite a bit of stuff, but no, for the paranormal stuff, the mediumship, you can find me at ghosthistorymedium.com. I have a blog there also. It has over 120 blog posts about anything you can really think about. It's about, I have quantum physics in there. Somebody mentioned going into quantum physics and the paranormal, up to pets in the paranormal, up to do historical locations have more spirits than non-historical, and all kinds of random blog posts. So check that out. I also do private one-on-ones. I also do location readings. I have a reading coming up in Chester, New Jersey next week. Going to do a private reading there for somebody's business to help them out, and then also help get, again, the history to back up their experiences and my own. I also do picture readings too. So if there's picture readings of a location that you want to have done, email me, ghosthistorymedium@gmail.com, also on Facebook. And yeah, that's how you can get in touch with me.
Fantastic. Mrs. Collucci, where
That's-
can they find
that's
you?
that's a tough act to follow right there. I am. You can find me with my group at the Parasite Experience on Facebook, on YouTube, on everything. If you look up the Parasite Experience, Parasite Investigations is the name of my group. So you can find us, our evidence, and our events on our website. And also this weekend, we are going to the 1890s house in Cortland, New York. We are the first group to stay overnight at this amazing, amazing mansion in Cortland, New York. Celebrating, can I just say it? National Ghost Hunting Day, Saturday. Happy National Ghost Hunting Day, everybody. Oh, yeah. And I'm working with these two wonderful people. Coming up in October, we have a Halloween event at the Public House in Chester, New Jersey with Richard Moschella, Ron Iacovetti, and Lourdes Gonzalez. And we want everybody to buy tickets to that who's in the New Jersey area. So you can check my Facebook page for details on that.
Very cool.
Simonelli, where can we find you?
You can find me in the corner of 5th and 8th Avenue. Okay?
At the bar.
Just look for me, yeah?
At the cannoli counter.
Yeah, hey. Getting some cannolis. Yeah.
This one.
Well, on the 13th, October 13th, the three of us are going to be at the Hollow Beyond the Veil.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yes.
I thought you guys were going to tell them everything, and I was just sitting here and like, okay, I don't know.
I forgot.
No, we left it for you, Anthony. We left it for you.
I'm gonna be, you know what I'm saying? On a Haunted Japan podcast on the 17th. I'm gonna try to get these two on with me. We'll see about that. They're cool. Then of course we got the Public House on the 18th. The three of us. Public House, that's where is that, in Jersey, Chester, something like that?
Chester, New Jersey, yeah.
Chester,
Beautiful,
New Jersey.
Beautiful old building. Restaurant.
Yeah. The 25th. We'll maybe be there again. And that's it for me. And two, you guys got to come and see us next Tuesday. Isn't it next Tuesday already?
Is it already?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
On
October 1st.
October 1st, on Earth Radio, or ERRT Radio. Ronald and Bobby are going to help us out there, and we're going to have our first show, Seekers Chronicles Paranormal Historians. You're seeing the host right now, the three of us, and the first one is going to be the Montgomery House. Yay! And Chris and Audrey are going to be our guest, and they're going to tell us some good stories about that. And
awesome.
From that point on, we have, in October 8th, we have another show. What's it, say it again?
Vechten. Van Vechten.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Van Vechten.
Yeah.
We're having the guest, the Moon Girls, Lisa, Susan, and Nicole. And then next after that, we have the 15th, Al.
We have an author.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a new book out based on one of his paranormal experiences, but it's a fiction. It's called Spencer's Ghost. We're having him on. So it's going to be a little bit of a variety.
Yeah, we're going to
Talk
have
about some of his favorite locations.
The 29th for Halloween. We're having a little Halloween thing. And we got Mr. Bobby Gallo coming on. We're going to talk about ghost stories.
Scariest experiences.
Fantastic.
So we're going to try. We're trying to have things for the whole month to keep people, interested, and see what happens. They like us, give us thumbs up. If you don't,
Who doesn't like
Anthony,
you?
if you don't,
forget about it.
Can you get
Hey, if you don't
your
like it,
Facebook page again?
oh yeah, we're looking forward to having some of the old, some of the people that we know on there, and some of the people in your audience, hopefully. And that's be next 8. It's gonna be 8 to 10. So we're looking forward for everybody to be there.
awesome. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, join us. Join us.
All right. I want to thank Kimm and Jennie and Anthony for coming on tonight. I want to thank all of our viewers and audience that come and join us every week and make sure that the comments are exciting and fun and come out and watch us every week on Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. Most of all, I want to thank my son for joining me tonight as one of our special co-hosts on the show tonight.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you, Stetson.
Thank you. It was nice having him on here.
It's great seeing your grandbaby there.
Yeah, it was nice seeing the grandbaby. I get to go spend some more time with her right now. Hopefully she's not asleep yet. If not, Grandpa will wake her up so she can be awake for Dad while Dad. But guys, thank you for coming on to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. Next week we've got Ash from Inspectors Paranormal. We've got Scott and Zach from PPIT, and they're going to be showing you some evidence from the Trivet clinic that we all did with Audra and I did with PPIT as an investigation there. They've got some really good evidence that they're going to show next week. It was awesome seeing you guys. Make sure that you guys tune in to the show coming up with Audra and I, not to mention the shows after that with Kimm, Jennie, and Anthony for the Seekers Chronicles Paranormal Historians starting every Tuesday on October 1st. Do not forget it, guys. Remember, everything that we do, everything that we commit to, every piece of research and investigation that we do contributes to the paranormal history that we do out there. And the only way that's going to happen is if you tune into Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. The only way that's going to happen is if you tune into the Seekers Chronicles Paranormal Historians with Kimm, Jennie, and Anthony. And the only other way that's going to happen, guys, is if you stay haunted. All right, guys, we will see you next week. Have a good night.
Good night,
Forget
guys.
about
Good
it.
night. Thank
Good
you,
night,
everyone.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Can you give me a name? What's your name?